Breaking overnight, civil rights activist and U.S. Representative John Lewis has died at the age of 80.
Huge loss. This is according to a statement from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. Lewis announced in December that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. But as recently as last month, the Democrats said that his health was improving. Lewis, often called the conscience of Congress, represented Georgia's 5th District and has done so since 1987. He, along with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., led the Civil Rights March in Selma, Alabama in 1965, which ultimately led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This all led to a violent confrontation with Alabama state troopers, where Lewis got his skull fractured by police. ABC13 anchor Melanie Lawson spoke with Lewis in 2015 about that moment.
I thought I saw death. I thought I was going to down that bridge. I'm still here, and I live to complete the march from Selma to Montgomery, the 54 miles.
Like many young protesters, he learned nonviolence.
What we call the do's and don'ts of the city. Sit up straight, don't talk back, don't laugh out, obey your leader.
He would use those lessons as he took part in virtually every major event in the civil rights movement, from the lunch counter sit-ins to freedom rides through the South to Selma.
We signed letters, statements, like wills, because we didn't know whether we would return or not. We were beaten, we were left bloody, but I was never, ever afraid. You come to the point where you lose any sense of fear. Then you come to that point where you believe in something that is so good and so necessary that you're prepared to die for it.
And those sacrifices are why many of us have rights today. Well, we will share more of Melanie's conversation with Representative Lewis throughout the morning. Local officials are also remembering him. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says in part, quote, "May his work live on through a renewed commitment to one another and to the fight for justice in our country."
All right, let's get you caught up now. The latest of COVID-19, where 2 grim milestones have been reached globally. According to Johns Hopkins University, there are now more than 14 million diagnosed cases across the world and more than 600,000 deaths. Here in the United States, the CDC warns that this country could see more than 157,000 Americans die due to the coronavirus by the end of the first week in August. The CDC says Arizona, Florida, Oklahoma, and right here in Texas are now the current hotspots for COVID-19, and we will see daily record death tolls in the coming weeks. However, Dr. Anthony Fauci from the White House Coronavirus Task Force says he is more hopeful now that a vaccine is not too far away and that life will eventually return to normal. Texas has recorded more than 10,000 new cases in 5 out of the 7 last days. This graph shows only on Sunday and Monday did the state report fewer than 10,000 new cases. Yesterday, the state hit a new record for the number of deaths reported at 174. Of those new cases, 986 of them are right here in Houston. 600 are in Harris County. Houston also reports 11 new deaths yesterday, along with 7 new deaths in Harris County. Local health officials say the overall number of deaths remains relatively low when compared with other major cities like Los Angeles and New York City. The Texas Education Agency has outlined new guidelines for districts to follow because of the pandemic.
But some schools are exempt. ABC13 reporter Micah Hatfield has the story to explain.
Hey, good morning, Stephen and Erica. This week we saw the TEA change their original guidance that they had given to schools after receiving some backlash. Now, public schools are able to start the school year online and stay that way for 4 weeks. Originally, the state's education agency told districts that they had to open their buildings for in-person class 5 days a week for students who wanted it. They changed their tune this week and now say districts can remain closed for 4 weeks, like I mentioned, and provide only virtual learning. If local health officials feel they need to stay closed beyond that, districts can apply for a waiver for another 4 weeks. We spoke to the Speaker of the House in Texas, who emphasized this is not homeschooling. He said these are teachers in a safe environment who are instructing students also in a safe environment. And the state says they're committing the funding to help districts with whatever they may need to make this school year possible.
Any cost related to COVID is being reimbursed through the state with federal dollars. I mean, if there's a district that says they're struggling to get reimbursement or have funds or have resources, they need to reach out to us, because the reality of it is it's available, it's there, and no one's holding anything back.
Private schools' reopening plans are being left up to each individual school. This week, this Texas Attorney General said that it would be unconstitutional, both U.S. and Texas, to tell these private religious schools how they should move forward for the fall. In Southwest Houston, Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Micah, thanks. Well, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner is vowing to appeal a judge's decision that would allow the state Republican Party to hold an in-person convention at the GRB Convention Center downtown.
There will be major developments in this hot-button issue today, so let's get you caught up. Judge Lynn Hughes ruled the Texas Republican Party can hold their convention this weekend or next weekend. The order overturns Mayor Sylvester Turner's cancellation of the contract between the city's GRB Convention Center and the GOP over fears, of course, that COVID-19 would spread even further. ABC 13 spoke to the former Harris County Republican Party chairman who filed the lawsuit.
He's making up for the lost time that the mayor stole from us. And so he appreciated the fact that Mayor Turner was picking and choosing winners and losers.
The GOP went ahead with a virtual convention this week. Today's session is expected to start at 8 a.m. It's not clear when the Houston mayor's appeal will be heard. It's also not clear when the GOP would plan to invite physically people to the GRB. Well, the Texas Democratic Party also issued a statement that reads in part, quote, "Shame on the judge who issued this ruling. There is no justification whatsoever for holding an in-person convention in the biggest coronavirus hotspot in the country." And due to schools being closed for more weeks ahead, food is on everyone's mind. Today, the Houston Food Bank is hosting its food distribution event for families in need. There's going to be one at NRG Stadium in the yellow parking lot. The event is from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Let's get you out to another site trying to combat food insecurity. This is Sheldon ISD's C.E. King School along the East Beltway, and look at those line of cars. Look at that line. Wow. The food distribution event here starts at 9 a.m. And already, again, hundreds of cars are in line. Families can show up by vehicle or on foot. Social distancing will be enforced.
A whole lot of people still in need of help. Well, in the coming weeks, we expect to see more memorials for murdered Houston soldier Vanessa Guillen. Yesterday, the Army held a memorial service at Fort Hood. Photos show Vanessa's mother, Gloria Guillen, overcome with emotion at that service. About 100 soldiers from Vanessa's regiment gathered at the Spirit of Fort Hood Chapel. We're told several high-ranking Army officials were also there. There was a protest after the service outside of the base. The family attorney tells us the family's priest blessed the armory room where Vanessa was allegedly killed. The Army says they can't talk specifics about this case because they don't want to jeopardize any criminal prosecution.
All right, and get ready for more rain chances today, similar to yesterday and what we've seen. A little more isolated today than that large complex that came through, but already some storms getting going. To start your Saturday, we'll see more through the afternoon, and this is going to be nice. Cool us down briefly. Heaviest right now near the Bolivar Peninsula and moving into Harris County, parts of Brazoria County as well. So we'll see how those progress. All right, today hit and miss shower chance, same with tomorrow, and then better chances Monday, Tuesday, brief break Wednesday, and then more coming back Thursday and Friday. Some of that could be tropical in nature, and there's an outside chance we see a little organization from a weak tropical wave. I don't think it will, but I think at the very least it brings us some moisture. Take a look. There it is, the weak disturbance, and that will bring us again deeper tropical moisture, heavier rains Friday, Saturday of next week. So those chances are already up at 60% now. So isolated chance today, 30% down to 20% tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday at 40. Wednesday I brought it down to 20%, and then Friday, Saturday already up at 60%. Some of that could be heavy as well. One good thing in all this, look at the temperature going down steadily through next week. A far cry from that heat index of 115 just a little over a week ago.
We have at least 8 major freeway shutdowns this weekend. That's right, 8 of them. Here's a look at the highest impact closures and how to avoid getting trapped in traffic. I-10 is closed westbound near downtown at Waco all weekend long. The Southwest Freeway is also completely shut down inbound from Gessner to Bel Air. Now to the Galleria area. The West Loop going southbound is closed between Westheimer and 59, along with the ramp going on to 59. And in the same area, Westheimer and Richmond are both closed both ways at the West Loop all weekend. You can take San Felipe as an alternate route. All the closures and real-time traffic, just go online to abc13.com or check our app.